This is Hal the Woodmeister here. I'm adding a new soundtrack to this, so it may not sync with what's going on in the movie because the other one had a lot of background interference. I'm going to show you how to cut a 4x8 piece of plywood. We have the plywood here and it's supported by sawhorses and workmates. There's also a saw guide in place which allows me to run the saw atop of a guide rather than it being right on the plywood itself, which will prevent it from being damaged at all. I have previously put together a plan, so I planned this thing out, so I know what I'll be cutting. But here goes the cut. Be running the saw across the wood, and it's supported on on the front and the back, so it won't fall down and cramp the saw in the middle. So you won't be able to hear the saw, but it makes a lot of noise on the other track. I'll see if I can't meld the other track in here. And I had this thing on YouTube, and I had a lot of complaints about background noise because this was one of my first videos, and it had in the background the radio was left on, and I didn't realize it till after it had already been made. So I ended up with a video with a soundtrack with the radio in the background, which is very annoying if you're listening to the thing. So the cut's going well. I'll be finishing it up here in a second, and then I'll go show you some more details of how the wood is supported and what the plan looked like when I drew it up. So I'm walking around now to show you the things I used to support it. There's two sawhorses there and a workmate, which keeps it supported and from being pinched. So if you don't do that, you end up pinching the wood and pinching the saw blade, and believe me, it doesn't work very well. There's the cut plan that I had, and that's what I'm going to end up when I finish cutting it. I'm going to take the smaller piece that I cut here and move it into another saw. So that's about it. Alright, I'm back in the shop now. I'll show you how I make a second cut on this thing. After the major cut's already been made, I need a 14-inch wide piece here. So I'm using my Delta saw. It's 14 inches. They're all lined up here. Is typical. I forgot to do something here. You need to have something to support it when it comes off of the table saw. Otherwise it flops down and hits the ground and sometimes messes things up. So I put this rigid flip top back there. It's all cut.